All right, we're going to go to the city of New Orleans here with the latest update on what they're doing.
The public, we want to say thank you to the public for listening and just responding to the messages coming out of City Hall, NOLA Ready, and the like to shelter in place, to stay off roads. Also, just a big thank you to our city employees. Our workers and emergency responders really have been all hands on deck responding to this unprecedented snow event. Since 1895, 130 years is what we're being told. We're continuing to stand back up the city. The snow plows that we have engaged have been doing tremendous work over the past, 2 days really, and into the day. We see the temperatures are going a little above 40 degrees, and that allows us not only a snow to melt, but again, moving forward on our efforts to clear streets, particularly focusing heavily on the interstates, I-10, and working regionally with our regional partners to do so, and partners that we have activated in terms of snow plows that have been working throughout the city, but even engaging as we want to clear rights of way relative to the interstate. The New Orleans Police Department, Fire Department, EMS, Health Department, all first responders just continue to provide public safety efforts around the city. We're still operating our warming centers at Rosenwald, Tremay, and St. Bernard. I know that members at St. Bernard are going back. Some are going to work, but then some do expect to come back tonight. So we will have our centers open throughout the week, looking at Saturday, possibly closing. You'll hear more from Colin on that. Lewis Armstrong Airport, as you know, has reopened. We've done a tremendous job on yesterday clearing major thoroughfares there, ramps, to get MSY back into full service. My administration just continues to lean in and troubleshoot key areas around the city so that we're again bouncing back stronger really by the hour, every single hour. With that, we're going to take questions, but I'm going to ask Colin to give you a little bit more information. But before he gets to that, I do want you all to know that we are reaching out to our lighthouse partners and food bank partners throughout the city so that they can stand up resources, particularly food, to meet our people where they are around the city. More to come on that. NOLA Ready continues to stay activated and be the center point of information, trusted information citywide. And so with that, Colin, you'll take it from here, and then we'll move through any Q&A we'll get.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody who's online. Appreciate it. Let's start with some plowing. It's continuing. Snow plowing is continuing. It continued last night. We were able to accomplish what we discussed yesterday, which was major arteries through Lakeview, through Mid-City and the City Park area. Many of the cross streets and major cross streets in Gentilly, heading from east to west. And then also got a handle on the lower 9th Ward, the main streets there, as well as Florida Avenue. And then Chef Highway all the way out to New Orleans East. Today's focus particularly is on New Orleans East. We want to get a handle on Hain, Morrison, Dwyer, and then Reed and Bullard, and they did Crowder yesterday, but we'll check that out again. And then at the request of DOTD, we're going to start with our plows moving on Interstate 10 from east to west. They're moving from west to east. And so we're hoping to make a significant dent in the remaining snow that's out there on Interstate 10, assisting the state. And then I've also put on their list 610 because these plows that we've had have been working pretty fast. And we think that they'll be able to knock some of those things out. I forgot to mention, they were also able to do yesterday General de Gaulle all the way down the Woodland Bridge down into the English Turn area, Lower Coast Algiers. Now, this is the main streets. We have not been able to get into the actual neighborhoods and residential streets. To be quite frank, that's probably not going to happen. We think that, and you've probably seen that with the sunshine today and the increasing temperatures, that this is rapidly diminishing. We're going to make a determination this afternoon whether or not we need the snowplows for another day. Looking out there now, we'll have to see about that. As far as traffic accidents due to ice or snow-related issues, there were 7 reported last night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. One of those was injury, minor injury. The rest were no injuries. NOPD continues to provide a lot of the traffic monitoring and barricades and keeping people off of the interstate at this time because it is still closed. The Crescent City connection, they've been able to maintain 1 lane in each direction. I think that's going to increase throughout the day. The issue still remains elevated roadways and bridges that tend to freeze over. And I'll just pause there and say, that's going to continue again tonight. We are going to get below freezing for about possibly 3 to 5 hours. It will be significantly less than what we've experienced over the last 2 to 3 days. But it is something to bear in mind that as this beautiful sunshine that we've needed starts to go away this evening, the chance for black ice and for slippery roads, I think, actually will increase compared to some of the other days, because a lot of the snow is going to be gone, and all that's going to remain is moisture and water, and that water will freeze. So we want everyone to continue to be careful. As far as our messaging, we still want people to really think twice before getting on the roads today. That's going to continue to get better. We're not going to continue with the messaging of stay off, stay off, stay off the roads, but we do want people just to make sure, especially at night as the sun goes down, be very, very careful if you're driving around. And that's the posture that we want to take right now. As far as the human services situation with our warming centers and shelters, as the mayor mentioned, we have 3 open right now. We have Rosenwald with about 120 persons. We have Tremay with about 70, and we have the St. Bernard Rec Center with about 15 to 20 was the last count we had there. We think we're stable there. We are ordering resupplies today just to make sure that we're going to be good. We intend to close down this operation on Saturday morning. That will be when temperatures climb very much above our target threshold where we activate the freeze plan. And that's what we're looking towards at this moment, is to demobilize on Saturday morning.
We will be reopening City Hall to full operations on tomorrow. And of course, we'll be coordinating with our employees that may need to respond virtually. However, full operations for City Hall on tomorrow.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And then the next would be the utilities. Entergy New Orleans has related to us, and I believe that power is not going to be an issue during this event. We made it through power quite well. At any one time during the past 3 days, we've had 200 to 300 customers without power. That trends about what it does on a daily basis, and those outages were all repaired within the same day. There's been very few power issues to note. Entergy New Orleans has related that they have very little damage to any of their infrastructure, so we're comfortable there. Water, as we know, will always be an issue when we have a freeze here in the city, and particularly a prolonged freeze like this. And what we are anticipating, and what Sewerage and Water Board has confirmed, is that as we get above 32 degrees on a more sustained basis, we will start seeing more leaks, particularly residential leaks where pipes have burst. We are doing a very active messaging campaign about how to deal with that, about how to turn your water off. I would recommend that everyone, all residents, if you have a water leak in your home, turn your water off at the home. They're asking now with these new smart meters to not turn your water off at the meter with a key, but to turn your water off at that cutoff lever that is on either the front of your home, or if you're on a corner lot that's typically on the side of your house. And there'll be more. You can find out about this at ready.nola.gov, and we'll have a lot more messaging through NOLA Ready and through Sewage and Water Board about how to deal with this issue. Sewage and Water Board has reported a water main leak that they are aware of on Hawthorne Drive. They are aware of it. They're going to respond to it. If they haven't already, the only issue last night when it was noted was the ability to get out there and use heavy equipment in the snow and ice. We believe that they'll be able to get out there as soon as possible and address water main leaks. And then, as I said, there's been a handful, and it is increasing, of numbers of residences complaining of leaking water. What they've asked for is to continue to voluntary water conservation measures. And that's what we've talked about over the past couple of days, which is just doing those things to try and reduce the use of water, particularly in the morning when you're talking about laundry, showers, dishwashing and the like, trying to spread that out over the day to reduce the amount of pressure on the water system in the morning times after everyone has run their faucets overnight. You still need to run your faucet when it's below 32 degrees, but that is getting, according to Sewage and Water Board, less and less necessary now because the temperatures we're not getting into that hard freeze range. So that's kind of where we're at with the utilities.
We still also want to encourage all customers to contact the 52 Water, use the 52 Water to report all sewer and water breaks. We are actively just assisting that line and responding to those emergency calls. So 52 Water, please call. The next 4 to 6 hours would just be critical hours for the Sewage and Water Board in terms of the city warming back up. So again, 52 Water is the line to call.
I think that's about all I had right now as far as comments. We obviously we're moving into the third, almost fourth day of this. As the mayor mentioned, we're planning on a full work day tomorrow for city government. We will have exceptions for remote work for folks that may still have transportation challenges. I believe the schools are going to make a decision this afternoon about school tomorrow. And we'll make sure to assist in conveying that message to the public as well. So with that, if there's any questions, ask away.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Colin. Let's start with the advocate. Sophie, I believe we have you online. Your question?
Yeah, Colin, you gave a list of roads that had been reopened. I imagine that's not a comprehensive list. Is there a comprehensive list available?
Yeah, there's a map that we can provide. I'm just going to be very cautious about the use of comprehensively reopened. We've plowed to the best of our ability to make sure primarily that public safety vehicles can get where they need to be. The road condition is drastically improving every minute that we're under, that we have these temperatures and daylight. But again, as we go into the night, I would hate to say something is 100% clear when it's not, but we can provide at least where we have been is with the snow plows.
Especially where ice still exists and continues to melt, and of course, getting into or going into freezing temperatures this evening. We just, again, want to just caution people, limited travel on the roads.
Thank you. And that was one thing I should have mentioned too. We also have IV Waste and a couple city contractors that are working particularly downtown with the French Quarter, with the CBD. There's been a request in for IV to move over into the Marigny and the Bywater while we can still do that today, working on many of the cross streets in that area. And then we also have teams that are mobilizing to start working on ice on sidewalks, particularly in the CBD.
Yeah, and we've been very intentional with understanding where guests are in the city. We have a large convention that is in our city, approximately 22,000 that stayed. It's their 11th time being here, and it's just saying NOLA strong. They have altered plans, but not to leave, but to stay and to make it happen, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, Mayor. Sophie, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I think we wanted to ask about contractors for the Super Bowl, how you've worked around the schedule for them to accommodate any delays.
Sure, mainly relative to Super Bowl work. It was the weather, the conditions, the temperature, which prevented us from going to lay asphalt and the like. As soon as it gets above 45 degrees, that work will continue. But we continue to stay engaged with all of our Super Bowl, Super GRAW, I would say, partners. We have a call at 2:00 today, just start keeping that battle rhythm with our Super GRAW committees going. So today at 2:00, we'll have our meeting as scheduled. We had to postpone it by one day, but the work has not stopped and we're just pressing forward.
And I'd add too that the NFL is in town. They came in town today, or coming in town today, this afternoon, flying in because they have an airport they can fly into and they can get here. And we gave them priority routes, available routes to get into the city. And they're committed to getting in here and working with us and continuing to set up in the final stages of the preparations we're making for Super Bowl. They've been working in the Superdome this entire time. So there's a little bit of a delay, but as I mentioned yesterday, I don't think it's anything that we're not going to be able to recover from with a little bit of extra work.
All right, thanks, Colin. Thank you, Sophie. Axios, Carly, are you on the line?
Mr. Davis. Yes, Carly with Axios. So the power seems to be a bright spot during this storm. I know in the earlier press conferences, y'all were talking about the possibility of load sharing, outages, heavy snow weighing down the power lines. That doesn't seem to have happened. Can y'all talk a little bit more about that?
Yep, we've spoken with Energy. It has been a high spot, I think, for this. We did put auxiliary generators on the rec centers that we've been using for this event for warming centers out of that concern. The concern initially was winds over 35 miles an hour and then ice accumulation on the power lines.